Yo, Shenzhen's UAV Expo 2026 just dropped the craziest drones ever. From gigantic motherships to creepy bird spies, we gathered info on 6 of these drones and what we found was mind-blowing. Starting with number 6, F-15 eVTOL drone by Xi'an Tech. The first big reveal at the expo was the F-15, and no, it's not some oversized toy drone you've seen buzzing around a park. This thing is a straight-up beast. It is an eVTOL drone, which basically means it can take off and land like a helicopter but fly with insane control. And the best part is, it is not just built to look cool either. The F-15 was designed for real heavy-duty work. It has 3 separate bays, which is like giving it a backpack, a tool belt, and a side bag all at once. One minute it is carrying a high-definition camera that can spot the tiniest details from way up high. The next it is rocking a LiDAR scanner that maps out terrain in perfect 3D. If that is not enough, it can even be loaded with sensors that literally sniff out gas leaks. Imagine how wild that is. Instead of sending people into dangerous spots in factories or oil fields, this drone just flies in, checks everything, and comes back with data that is accurate down to the smallest detail. The F-15 is not just a drone, it is like the ultimate cheat code for industries. Number 5, Shadow S3 helicopter UAV. Now let's talk about the Shadow S3, and trust me, this one had everyone's jaws on the floor. If the last drone felt like an industrial cheat code, this one feels like a flying tank with superpowers. The Shadow S3 is not your everyday copter drone. This thing is built like it has something to prove. While most drones can barely stay in the air for an hour before begging for a recharge, the Shadow S3 just shrugs and keeps going for a solid 100 minutes. That is practically 2 hours of non-stop flying, and it can hold its own against winds strong enough to knock over a human. Level 7 winds? No problem. But endurance is only half the story. The Shadow S3 is not just about staying up in the air longer, it is about what it can do during that time. This drone can cruise at speeds of up to 100 kilometers per hour, which means it can cover insane distances in record time. It is not just hovering in one place like some lazy toy. It is zipping around like it has somewhere important to be, and honestly, it always does. What makes it even cooler is how customizable it is. You can throw on a tri-sensor gimbal for super sharp imaging, slap on a loudspeaker to send messages across huge distances, or even attach a spotlight bright enough to light up the night. It is like giving the Shadow S3 different superhero powers depending on the mission. This is the kind of tool that rescue teams, law enforcement, and disaster relief squads dream about. The Shadow S3 is not just another drone, it is redefining what we thought was possible when it comes to strength, endurance, and pure utility in the skies. Number 4, Gray Whale G1 cargo drone. Let's assume you are stuck in a mountain village where the roads are completely blocked, or maybe you are stranded on a small island after a storm. No boats, no trucks, no easy way in or out. What would you want most in that moment? Probably someone who could fly in with supplies, right? That is exactly what the Gray Whale G1 does. At first glance, you might think it is just another delivery drone, but this thing is built for way more than dropping off your pizza. It can carry up to 15 kilograms, which means we are talking real cargo. So we're talking food packs, medicine, and emergency gear. Suddenly, what looked like a simple machine turns into a literal lifesaver. And here's the part that makes it even cooler. The Gray Whale G1 has this modular design that lets it switch up how it carries stuff. Operators can load cargo into a box when it needs to be secure, or sling it underneath the drone if the delivery is bulkier. Think about how clutch that is. One day it could be bringing sensitive medicine in a sealed container. The next it could be hauling heavy supplies through rough weather. And to make it extra practical, it has foldable legs so it can be packed and carried easily, plus a parachute system for emergency landings. Basically, it is ready for anything. The Gray Whale G1 shows us that drones are not only about surveillance or warfare. Sometimes they are the quiet heroes, changing lives in ways we do not always think about. Number 3, Jiu Tian 10-ton UAV. Okay, forget every image you have in your head about drones being small gadgets that fit in a backpack. The Jiu Tian 10-ton UAV completely shatters that picture. This thing is a flying monster, the kind of machine that makes you stop and wonder if you are even looking at a drone anymore. Powered by jet engines, it is so massive that it earns the title of a mothership in the sky. Just saying that feels wild, a drone that is not just another aircraft but a literal airborne base. Now here's where it gets jaw-dropping. The Jiu Tian is not just big for show. Its headline feature is that it can actually carry and launch swarms of smaller drones while in flight. Imagine looking up and seeing one enormous machine cruising calmly across the sky, and then suddenly dozens of tiny drones burst out of it like a swarm of futuristic locusts. Some are scouting, others are striking, and a few might even be jamming enemy systems. It is a complete shift in how warfare could play out. Instead of sending fleets of piloted jets, you send one giant UAV that controls an army of smaller units working together. And that makes you think, right? How would battles look if machines like this became standard? Would humans even need to be in cockpits anymore, or would unmanned giants take over the skies? The Jiu Tian feels less like a drone and more like a floating command center, a sign that the future of aerial combat is arriving faster than anyone expected. Number 2. Flying Grenade Quadcopter. So after staring at that sky-sized beast, let's shrink things down way down to something that looks tiny, but hits just as hard in a different way. Meet the Flying Grenade Quadcopter. At first glance, it looks almost harmless, just a small foldable drone you could slip into a backpack. But don't let the size fool you. This thing is built for tactical missions where silence and precision matter more than brute force. Here's where it gets intense. The Flying Grenade comes equipped with its own onboard camera so it can be guided with pinpoint accuracy, and hidden inside its little frame is a grenade-style warhead. Yeah, you heard that right. It can literally fly straight into a target and be remotely detonated. Picture a military unit needing to eliminate a high-value target inside a fortified building. Instead of risking soldiers' lives, they send in this drone which silently slips through, confirms the target with its camera, and delivers a strike that's both clean and chilling. And the scary part is that drones like this are no longer just eyes in the sky. They're evolving into weapons that can make decisions mid-flight. It's unsettling, but it shows just how much modern combat is changing. Number 1. Bird-like covert reconnaissance drones. Now let's close things out with something straight out of a spy thriller, the bird-like covert reconnaissance drones. Unlike the heavy lifters and combat beasts we have been talking about, these little machines are all about disguise and stealth. At first glance, you would probably just think you were watching an ordinary bird soar past. But take a closer look and you would realize it is not a pigeon or a sparrow. It is a highly engineered piece of tech built for spying. The brilliance here lies in how perfectly these drones copy nature. Their wings flap just like a real bird. Their gliding patterns are convincing, and even their size and appearance are tuned to blend in. That means they can slip into restricted areas without raising alarms. Imagine a city where every drone in the sky would be spotted instantly. A bird like UAV could cruise down streets, perch on a lamppost, and quietly gather information without anyone suspecting a thing. It is exciting, but also a little unsettling. These drones show us that the future of surveillance is no longer just about cameras in the air. It is about machines that vanish into the background of daily life. What ties all these different drones together is the sheer variety of ways they are pushing the boundaries of aerial technology. On one hand, you have industrial machines like the F-15 making work safer and more efficient, while on the other hand, you have futuristic giants like the Jiu Tian redefining military strategy. Then there are lifesavers like the gray whale G1 that quietly deliver hope in times of need, and stealthy bird-like drones that remind us how creativity can shape intelligence gathering. So when you put it all together, the UAV Shenzhen Expo was a statement about where the world of drones is heading. These machines are faster, smarter, tougher, and more powerful than anything we have seen before. And while some of them may look like they belong in a futuristic action movie, the fact that they are very real makes the future of aerial technology both exciting and a little bit daunting. The next time you see a drone buzzing above your head, remember that somewhere in Shenzhen, engineers are building machines that make that little quadcopter look like a toy. And that wraps up today's video on the craziest drones unveiled at the UAV Shenzhen Expo 2026. Thank you for watching. Which of these drones will you like to see in real time? Let me know in the comments. Be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this one. Until then, bye for now.